All right, so dreams, we've all got them, but how much do we really know about what goes on in our minds when we're asleep?
Well, that's what we're here to find out, right?
Hmm.
It's kind of wild that we spend like a third of our lives sleeping.
Yeah. And this article, Why Do We Dream? The Science Behind Sleep, has some really interesting insights. We're going to deep dive into it today.
Sounds good. And I think a lot of people are really curious about dreams. It's a universal experience, but still so mysterious.
Totally. So let's start with the basics. What actually is a dream? I mean, how would science define it?
Basically, it's those stories and images our minds cook up while we sleep. And they can be so vivid.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it. I've had dreams that felt more real than real life. Crazy, strange, emotional, all of it.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so fascinating to study. Now, most people associate dreaming with REM sleep.
Right. REM sleep, that's when our eyes are moving rapidly under our eyelids, right?
Yeah. And it's a stage of sleep where we tend to have the most vivid, memorable dreams.
But why REM sleep specifically? What's happening in our brains during that time?
Well, during REM sleep, our brains are surprisingly active, almost as if we're awake. But the thing is, different parts of the brain act differently during this stage.
So it's not just like our brains are on or off, it's more nuanced than that.
Way more nuanced.
Right.
For example, the prefrontal cortex,
Hmm.
the part that handles logic and decision-making.
Yeah.
It kind of chills out during REM, which might explain why dreams can be so illogical and bizarre.
That makes sense. It's like our inner critic takes a break and our imaginations run wild.
Exactly. Meanwhile, other areas like the amygdala, which processes emotions,
Right.
and the hippocampus, which handles memory, those are super active during REM.
Okay, so that's why our dreams are often so emotionally charged and feel connected to our past experiences, even if it's all mixed up.
Exactly. It's like our brains are creating these elaborate stories from bits and pieces of our memories and emotions.
Amazing. But why go through all this trouble? Why do we dream at all?
The million-dollar question. There are a bunch of different theories out there.
Lame on me.
Well, one prominent theory is that dreams are all about consolidating memories. It's like your brain is going back and filing away important information from the day.
So that's why they say getting enough sleep is so important for learning.
Exactly. Studies show that when people are deprived of REM sleep, their memory suffers. It seems like those dreams are really crucial for our brains to process and store information effectively.
Wow. So if I want to ace that next exam, I better make sure I'm getting those REM cycles in.
Definitely.
Oh.
But memory consolidation isn't the only theory. Some scientists think dreams might also help us process emotions.
Oh, interesting. Like a way to deal with stuff we might not be consciously addressing during the day.
Exactly. It's like having a built-in therapist who works things out while we sleep. Dreams could provide a safe space to process anxieties, difficult emotions, even traumas, but in a symbolic, less threatening way.
That makes a lot of sense. I've definitely woken up from dreams feeling like I've processed something I was struggling with.
And remember how the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, is highly active during REM. It adds weight to this idea that dreams play a role in emotional processing and regulation.
Right, right. So dreams might be a way to sort of reset our emotions so we wake up feeling more balanced.
Precisely. But there are other theories, too. Some researchers think dreams are involved in problem solving.
Problem solving while we're asleep.
Yep. The idea is that because dreams are so free from logic and constraints, they allow us to approach problems in a more creative, outside-the-box way.
So those aha moments we sometimes have after a good night's sleep.
Could totally be the result of our brains working through those challenges in dreamland.
So cool. It's like our brains never really switch off, they just shift gears.
Exactly. And then there's the theory that dreams are just the brain making sense of random neural activity during REM.
Oh, so maybe it's not all so deep and meaningful. Sometimes it's just our brains being brains.
Pretty much. Even if it's just randomness, though, it leads to these fascinating, complex experiences.
True, true. But, besides trying to figure out why we dream, people have always been fascinated by what dreams might mean. Like, are they trying to tell us something?
Oh yeah, dream interpretation has been around for centuries. People have seen dreams as messages from the gods, glimpses into the future, all sorts of things.
So what does science say about interpreting dreams?
It's tricky. Some dreams might offer insights into our subconscious thoughts and feelings, but you got to remember that our brains are also incredibly creative during REM sleep.
So some dreams might just be our brains making up stories without any deep symbolic meaning.
Exactly. Sometimes a dream is just a dream. It's like the brain playing with fragments of our experiences, memories, and emotions, creating these fantastical narratives.
I guess it's like abstract art. Sometimes you just have to appreciate the overall feeling it evokes rather than trying to assign meaning to every little detail.
Right. But that said, some recurring dream themes pop up across cultures and time periods, which could suggest something more universal is going on.
Oh, like what?
Those classic dreams of being chased, falling, showing up for an exam unprepared.
Oh my gosh, yes, I have those all the time.
Those are super common,
Yeah.
and they might point to some deeper anxieties or desires that we all share as humans.
That's so fascinating. It's like there's this whole hidden language of dreams that we're all trying to decipher.
Exactly. And that's what makes exploring the world of dreams so intriguing.
Totally. And speaking of intriguing, what about those more peculiar dream phenomena? Like, is lucid dreaming actually a real thing?
It is. It might sound like science fiction, but being aware that you're dreaming, even controlling the dream, it happens. Not everyone experiences it naturally, though.
But you can learn to do it. I mean, that sounds amazing.
There are actually techniques that can increase your chances. One is called reality checking. It's basically just regularly pausing during your day to ask yourself, am I dreaming?
Mm-hmm.
And then do a little test.
Wait, how do you test if you're dreaming? Like pinching yourself?
Yeah. Pinching yourself might work in the movies, but there are better ways. Try looking at something like a clock or some text, then look away and back. In a dream, the details often change.
Oh, that's a good idea. So by practicing that in our waking lives, we might start to do it automatically in our dreams.
Exactly. And when you become aware that you're dreaming, you can start to influence what happens. It's like becoming the director of your own subconscious movie.
Wow, I'm definitely going to try that. What else is there? What other weird and wonderful dream phenomena should we talk about?
Well, we haven't even touched on things like recurring dreams or the
Mm.
fact that some people dream in black and white, or even sleep paralysis, which can be terrifying.
Sleep paralysis. Isn't that where you wake up and you can't move? That sounds scary.
It can be,
Mm.
but it's actually harmless. What happens is your mind wakes up before your body fully exits REM sleep, where your muscles are temporarily paralyzed.
So you're kind of caught between the dream world and waking reality. Weird.
Exactly. But before we get too deep into the spooky side of dreams, I think it's important to talk about why dreams matter. And I don't just mean because they're fascinating.
Right. What does science say about the importance of dreams for our well-being?
Well, studies have shown that people who consistently miss out on REM sleep, and therefore dreams, they experience some pretty negative effects.
Like what?
Think irritability, memory problems, trouble concentrating, even hallucinations. It seems dreams are crucial for our brains to function well and for our emotional balance.
Whoa, that's serious. So we really shouldn't skimp on sleep if we want to stay healthy, both mentally and physically.
Definitely not. It's like dreams are a way for our brains to recharge and process everything that's happened during the day, a kind of self-care.
Makes sense. And people who get enough REM sleep generally handle stress better and seem happier, right?
That's what the research suggests. So those dreams aren't just some random side effect of sleep. They're actually doing some important work behind the scenes.
Totally convinced. So what can we do to make our dreams more vivid, more memorable, and maybe even more insightful?
Lots of things. One of the simplest is keeping a dream journal. Just jot down what you remember as soon as you wake up, even if it's just a few keywords.
Okay, I'm going to commit to that. What else?
Well, if you're feeling adventurous, you can try practicing lucid dreaming. We talked about reality checks earlier.
Yeah, those sound cool. And what about just generally making our dreams better?
Well, good sleep hygiene is key. A consistent sleep schedule, relaxing bedtime routine, avoiding screens before bed. Yeah. Those all contribute to better REM cycles. And better REM cycles mean more of those vivid, memorable dreams.
Got it. It's like setting the stage for our brains to have those amazing dream experiences.
Exactly. Even small changes to your sleep habits can make a big difference in the quality and frequency of your dreams.
Awesome. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to go a little off script. The article we're looking at focuses on the science of dreaming, but it got me thinking, what about the future of dream research? What if we could use dreams intentionally for better mental well-being?
Now you're thinking outside the box. And actually, researchers are starting to explore that. There's a growing interest in using dreams therapeutically. There's even this technique called dream incubation.
Dream incubation, what's that?
It's where you intentionally focus on a specific issue or question before bed, hoping to influence your dreams. It's like giving your subconscious mind a creative assignment to work on while you sleep.
Whoa, so we could potentially use our dreams to work through challenges or come up with solutions?
It's a fascinating area of research, and it holds a lot of promise. But for now, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll explore even more amazing facts about the dream world.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were getting pretty deep into the potential of dreams, but there's still so much more to uncover, like some of the weirder stuff that happens when we're asleep. Right. You mentioned things like sleep paralysis and dreaming in black and white. Those definitely fall into the weird category.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of sleep paralysis, have you ever experienced that?
Actually, yeah, a few times. It's so freaky. Waking up but not being able to move, it feels like something's holding you down.
I can imagine. But it's a good example of how our sleep and waking states can get kind of mixed up.
So what's the science behind it? What's actually happening in our brains?
Well, you know how during REM sleep, our muscles are paralyzed?
Yeah, so we don't act out our dreams, right?
Exactly. So sleep paralysis basically happens when your mind wakes up before your body fully exits that REM state.
Ah, so you're conscious, but your body's still in sleep mode. No wonder it feels so weird.
Yeah, it's like your brain is catching up to your body. And it can be pretty scary because you might feel like you can't breathe or that something's pressing down on you.
Definitely not a fun experience. But you said it's harmless, right?
Totally harmless. It's just a temporary glitch in the system.
Yeah.
And the more we understand about sleep, the less scary it becomes.
Okay, good to know. So what about dreaming in black and white? Is that really a thing? I've always dreamt in color.
It's true. Not everyone dreams in color. Research suggests about 12% of people consistently dream in black and white.
Wow, that's wild. I wonder if that affects the feel of their dreams. Like, is it more like watching an old movie?
That's an interesting question. There are theories that it might be linked to early exposure to black and white media, but we need more research.
Yeah, the human brain is so complex, there's still so much we don't know. Speaking of things we don't fully understand, what about those recurring dreams? I have one that pops up every now and then, and it always freaks me out.
Yeah, recurring dreams are super common. And there are a lot of theories about why they happen. One idea is that there are subconscious mind's way of working through unresolved issues or thoughts.
Oh, like it's trying to tell us something.
Exactly. It might be pointing to a feeling, situation, or even a pattern in our lives that we need to pay attention to.
Wow, that's kind of deep. I'm gonna have to analyze my recurring dream now and see if it's trying to tell me something.
It's worth exploring. You might be surprised by the insights you uncover. But let's shift gears a bit. Ready for another mind-blowing fact about dreams?
Always. Hit me with it.
Animals dream too.
Wait, seriously, like, my dog has dreams.
Yep. We can't ask them what they're dreaming about, of course. But studies show that lots of animals, especially mammals and birds, experience REM sleep. And they often show behaviors that suggest they're dreaming, like twitching, making noises, moving their paws.
Oh my gosh, I can totally picture my dog chasing squirrels in his sleep. That's so adorable.
It really is. And it just shows that dreaming is a fundamental part of life for so many creatures, not just us humans.
It's like this hidden world we all share, even if we don't know what's happening in each other's minds.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, what are they dreaming about? Are their dreams similar to ours? Are they completely different?
So many questions. It's like we've only just scratched the surface of understanding this whole dream world.
We definitely have. But that's what makes it so exciting to explore.
I totally agree. And speaking of exploring, we've got a lot more ground to cover. We haven't even talked about practical tips for enhancing our dream lives.
We haven't. So let's dive into that next. We'll talk about dream journaling, lucid dreaming techniques, and all sorts of other fun stuff.
Sounds good to me. Let's unlock the secrets of our dreams. All right, we're back, ready to wrap up our dream exploration. I'm really curious about those practical tips for making our dreams more vivid and memorable, maybe even insightful.
Definitely. We touched on some things earlier, but let's dive a bit deeper. Remember dream journaling?
Yeah, it seems like a simple idea, but I have to admit I've never been very good at it. I tend to forget my dreams so quickly.
It happens. But like anything, practice makes perfect. Just keep that notebook and pen by your bed and jot down whatever you can remember as soon as you wake up.
Even if it's just random bits and pieces.
Exactly. Even a few words or images can help solidify those memories. And the more you do it, the better you'll become at remembering. It's like training your brain to pay more attention to those dream experiences.
Okay, I'm gonna give it another shot. But what about taking it a step further? Is lucid dreaming really something anyone can learn? It sounds almost too good to be true.
It might sound like a superpower, but it's more about training your awareness. Remember those reality checks we talked about? Doing those consistently throughout the day can really help.
So it's about questioning reality even when we're awake.
Yep, it kind of blurs the lines between our waking and dreaming states, so our minds are more open to recognizing when we're dreaming.
That makes sense. And the more familiar we become with those dreamlike sensations, the easier it might be to become lucid within a dream.
Exactly. It's like you start to notice those little cues that say, hey, this isn't real life, you're in a dream.
Wow, that's so cool. Are there other ways to train our minds for lucid dreaming?
Some people find meditation helpful because it helps with focus and awareness, and visualization exercises where you vividly imagine yourself in a dream scenario can also prime your mind for lucidity.
It's amazing to think we can actually practice for dreaming, but let's be real, not everyone has time for elaborate dream practices. Any simple tips for those of us with busy lives?
Definitely. The foundation of good dream experiences is good sleep. Prioritizing those healthy sleep habits is key.
Right, that good old sleep hygiene. It's so important, but how does it actually affect our dreams?
Well, think of it this way. A consistent sleep schedule, a relaxing bedtime routine, avoiding screens before bed.
Yeah.
All of those things contribute to better REM cycles.
And REM is prime dream time, right?
Exactly. So by taking care of your sleep, you're basically setting the stage for more vivid, more frequent, and more memorable dreams.
It's like we're creating the optimal conditions for our brains to do their magical dream work.
I love that analogy. It's so true. Dreams are a natural part of who we are, and they deserve our attention and care.
Absolutely. And that reminds me of something we talked about earlier, the potential for using dreams to improve our well-being. It's such a fascinating idea. Can you tell us more about dream incubation?
Of course, it's a technique where you focus on a specific question or problem before going to sleep, with the intention of influencing your dreams.
So it's like giving our subconscious mind a task to work on while we sleep.
Exactly. And while it's not a guaranteed solution, it can be a really powerful tool for personal growth and healing. Some therapists even use it to help people process emotions and work through challenges.
That's incredible. It makes you wonder, what else could we do with dreams? What if we could harness their power for, like, collective good?
Now you're really thinking big. It's an amazing idea. Imagine if we could use dreams to promote empathy and understanding between people from different cultures and backgrounds.
Wow, that would be incredible, using dreams as a bridge to connect people. But is that even possible?
It's a big goal, for sure. But with all the advancements in technology and neuroscience, who knows what the future holds? It's a really exciting time to be exploring the nature of consciousness and the power of the human mind.
Absolutely. And even if those grand visions take time to become reality, the very act of asking these questions, of pushing the boundaries of our understanding, that's what makes dream research so fascinating and rewarding.
Couldn't agree more. It's all about exploring the unknown, challenging our assumptions, and embracing the mysteries of the mind.
Well said. And as we wrap up our deep dive into the dream world, I'm left with a sense of wonder and excitement. It's clear that dreams are much more than just random images. They're a window into our deepest selves, a source of creativity and healing, and maybe even a pathway to a more connected world.
Beautifully put. And I hope our conversation has inspired you to pay attention to your own dreams, explore their meanings, and embrace the incredible potential they hold.
To all our listeners out there, keep that dream journal handy. Try those reality checks, make sleep a priority, and never stop exploring the amazing world of your dreams. Who knows what incredible insights and adventures await you?
Sweet dreams, everyone. And until next time, keep those minds dreaming and those imaginations soaring.